Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're digging into something many of you asked about: how to really learn English, especially if you're just starting out.
That's right. That feeling of excitement, but also, wow, where do I even begin? It's common.
Totally. It can feel like this huge mountain to climb, so much to learn.
It absolutely can. But, the good news is it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Our mission today is to pull out the core strategies,
Yeah.
the really practical tips that work.
Exactly. We want to make this feel manageable, maybe even, dare I say, fun.
Definitely possible. It's all about the right approach. Progress, not perfection. That's the key idea we'll keep coming back to.
Right. So we're here to guide you through some key insights. Things like goals, practice, what skills to focus on.
Using tools, and maybe the biggest one, dealing with making mistakes.
Okay, ready to cut through the noise and get some clear, actionable ideas.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first big thing that comes up again and again is setting goals. But specifically realistic goals. Why is that so important at the start?
Well, it's really about motivation, isn't it? If you aim for, I want to be fluent in 2 months.
Yeah, that's setting yourself up for disappointment.
Exactly. You'll likely get frustrated and maybe even quit.
Yeah,
The idea here is small wins.
the small wins.
Yeah, like setting a goal such as, I'll learn 10 new words this week, or I want to understand a simple chat about someone's day.
Ah, okay. Things you can actually achieve and feel good about.
Precisely. Those little successes build momentum. They make you feel like, hey, I can do this. It keeps you going.
And the sources also mentioned fitting it into your life, right? Not trying to find hours you don't have.
Yes, absolutely. Even just 10 or 15 minutes a day, consistently. That's often enough to make real progress without feeling swamped.
Consistency over like marathon sessions.
You got it.
Yeah.
If you miss a day, it's fine. Just get back to it the next day. It's about the overall habit.
Okay, so first takeaway, set small, realistic goals you can actually hit. Maybe think right now, what's one tiny thing you could aim for this week?
Perfect starting point. Feel that little victory and then build on it.
Okay, so that leads nicely into the next big strategy, practicing consistently.
Yes, consistency. This is like the engine of language learning.
The engine, I like that. Why is it so vital?
Well, think of it like exercise for your brain. Your language muscle gets stronger the more you use it.
Makes sense. And you were saying even short sessions count.
Absolutely. In fact, short, regular practice say that 10-15 minutes daily is often way more effective than one long, tiring session once a week.
Right. Cramming doesn't really work for language long term.
Not really. It's better to keep the language sort of simmering in your mind daily.
So how do you do that? How do you weave it in?
Lots of ways.
Yeah.
You could try just thinking in English while you're doing everyday things, like narrating your actions in your head while cooking or walking.
Oh, interesting. Like I am chopping the onions now.
Exactly. Or maybe read some simple English posts online. Change your phone language. Small things.
Those little integrations. And what if you're super busy and forget?
Good question. Maybe set a simple reminder on your phone. Just for 5 minutes even. Those tiny bits really do add up over time.
Yeah, you wouldn't think 5 minutes makes a difference, but daily.
It compounds. And again, don't beat yourself up if you miss a day. Consistency is the long game, not being perfect every single day.
Got it. So the key here is a little bit often goes a long way. Make English a small, natural part of your daily routine.
Spot on.
Okay, so we're setting realistic goals. We're practicing consistently. What should we actually focus on in that practice time, especially early on?
Right. This is a big one. The recommendation is pretty clear. Focus on listening and speaking first.
Listening and speaking first. Why those two?
Because they're the foundation of actual communication,
Yeah.
using the language.
Yeah.
Focusing here helps you get comfortable with how English actually sounds, the rhythm, the flow.
Yeah, the music of the language.
Exactly. And it helps you start responding, even simply. It builds practical confidence much faster than just, say, memorizing grammar rules in isolation.
Okay, so listening helps you absorb the natural patterns.
Yes. And you start picking up useful phrases, the way people really talk. Repeating what you hear, even just short bits, is great for your pronunciation too.
And what kind of listening? Does it need to be complex stuff?
Oh, definitely not at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Simple things are best. Kids' stories, podcasts for learners, simple dialogues. The goal isn't to understand every word.
Just to get used to the sounds.
Right. Just letting the language wash over you helps your brain adjust.
And what about speaking? That feels like the scary part for many people.
It can be, but the advice is just try. Even if it's not perfect, nobody expects perfection.
So what could that look like? talking to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Describe what you see out the window. Talk about your day in simple sentences. It feels weird at first, maybe, but it gets your mouth moving.
Getting the language out there, warts and all.
Precisely. The aim is comfort, not perfection. The more you listen and the more you try to speak, the more natural it starts to feel.
Okay, so prioritize listening and speaking early on. It builds confidence and gets you comfortable with using English for real communication.
That's the core idea. Build that foundation first.
All right, strategy number 4. This one feels very relevant today. Using technology and resources.
Oh, yeah. There's so much out there now. It's incredible. Technology can be a huge help.
How so? What kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, language learning apps are a big one. They make practicing things like vocabulary or grammar feel more like a game.
Right, you can do it on the bus, waiting in line.
Exactly. Super convenient. Then there are websites and videos, tons of free lessons, chances to hear native speakers.
Good for that listening practice we just talked about.
Definitely. And there are language exchange platforms too, places where you can connect with other learners or native speakers to practice talking.
Ah, like finding a practice buddy online.
Sort of, yeah. It makes speaking practice less intimidating sometimes. And don't forget audio resources, audiobooks, podcasts for learners.
Things you can listen to while doing other stuff.
Right. Commuting, exercising, cooking, you're absorbing language while multitasking. Great for vocabulary and just getting used to hearing English.
And even social media.
Sure. Follow accounts that post in English, join groups for learners. It's constant little exposures to real words and phrases.
So many options. It's not just textbooks anymore.
Not at all. The point is, these tools are there to support you. You don't have to learn in isolation.
That's a great point. Leverage the tools available to make learning more effective, more connected, maybe more fun.
Couldn't have said it better.
Okay, we've reached the final strategy. And this one. This might be the most important mindset shift.
I think it might be. It's about embracing something we usually try to avoid, making mistakes.
Right. That fear of messing up, of sounding silly, it holds so many people back.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
But the crucial thing to understand is that mistakes are totally normal, like 100% expected.
They're not a sign of failure.
Not at all. They're a sign you're learning. They show you're trying, you're pushing your boundaries, you're actually using the language. That's how improvement happens.
It's like you have to try the wrong way sometimes to figure out the right way.
Precisely. You learn from them. You remember the correction better because you experienced the mistake.
That makes sense. And what about worrying what other people think?
That's a big fear, yeah. But honestly, most people are really patient and understanding. They appreciate that you're making the effort to speak their language.
So don't let that fear stop you from opening your mouth.
Please don't. Remember, language is about communication, connection, not about perfect grammar every single time. Even native speakers make mistakes.
That's true. We trip over words all the time.
Exactly. So relax a little. Focus on getting your message across. Think of mistakes as like stepping stones.
Stepping stones.
Yeah. Each one you make actually gets you closer to where you want to be. It's proof of progress.
Wow, that's a powerful way to look at it. Embrace mistakes as part of the journey. Focus on communicating.
That's the big takeaway for this one. It's incredibly freeing when you really internalize that.
Okay, amazing. We've covered a lot of ground here, focusing on these core strategies. Let's do a quick recap.
Sounds good.
First up, the importance of setting realistic, achievable goals. Small wins keep you motivated.
Right. Then, practicing consistently. Little and often is usually better than massive, infrequent sessions. Weave it into your day.
Third, that focus on listening and speaking first. Build that communicative foundation and confidence early on.
And fourth, using technology and all the resources available now, apps, websites, audio, people use them to support your learning.
And finally, maybe the most crucial shift. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're not failures, they're stepping stones.
Exactly. Embrace them as part of the process.
So what does this all mean?
Well, it means learning English, or really tackling any big learning goal, isn't about some magic bullet. It's about these practical, manageable steps.
It breaks it down into something doable.
Right. It offers a clear path forward, step by step, consistent effort, using the right tools, focusing on communication, and being kind to yourself about mistakes.
That really is the core message, isn't it? Progress over perfection.
It is. And maybe here's a thought to leave with. If breaking down a big goal, like learning English, into these smaller, consistent steps, using the tools around you and accepting imperfections makes that achievable, where else in your life could applying those same simple principles help you tackle something you thought was just too big?
That's interesting. It's not just about learning English then.
Potentially, no. It's a pretty powerful way to approach learning or achieving, well, almost anything new.
A fantastic thought. Thank you for walking us through all that, and thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, great discussion. Hopefully these strategies give you some clear next steps for your own learning journey.